Hey guys, obviously from the thumbnail photo and the title of the video, I got myself a new TX22 compact. I've had the full size here for probably, I don't know, 2 years at least, something like that. Really love this gun a lot. I've never had any type of issues, no failures of any kind whatsoever. And so when I found out that Taurus had came out with a compact version, this one here is a 16 plus 1 from the factory. The compact is 13 plus 1. The compact is optic ready. So anyways, I knew that I wanted one. I kind of kept watching them to go on sale. And I picked one up a week or so ago from Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. It was the first time I bought from them. And it was $289. So I figured we'd do a quick unboxing. I'll kind of show you the gun, maybe do a couple comparisons to the full size. We'll just kind of go from there. So we have obviously our manual. There's some other literature stuff in here and save on a Viridian laser and stuff like that, which typically would get. We got the gun itself right here. We've got a gun lock. This here is a little like threaded barrel adapter. So I'll show you this once I get out of the bag, but basically you can remove the end of the barrel, screw this in, and then it's kind of suppressor ready. And we have a spare magazine. It does have a window on it. The magazine is mostly plastic. In fact, I think it's all plastic. It does have a spring that you can't see that's on this side, and I assume that that spring is some type of metal. Even that follower is plastic. And it also comes with this little speed loader thing here. So you put your rounds up there and then push down on this. But it also has these little things here that you can just take your fingers and just pull down to load each round. All right, here is the pistol itself. See, it's fairly small, but still enough that you can kind of get all three fingers. Most people will be able to get all three fingers on that grip still. For those of you that don't know, the TX22 line is a 22 long rifle. And this model is single action only. I showed the other magazine earlier, but these are 13 rounds. They do make a 10 round version for those states that require that. And then there are some other longer magazines as well. And I have seen that the 16 round magazines out of these will actually fit in these as well. So this is a 16 round and it does fit and lock. There's that little space right there, but I guarantee there's somebody who's already made spacers for those. So yeah, you could have 16 plus 1 in this. It has a 3.6-inch barrel. The overall length is 6.6 inches. The overall height is 4.9 inches. And it is 1.25 inches at its widest, which is going to be right there at the manual safety levers. The weight of it, 15.1 without the magazine, 16.5 with an empty magazine. So the slide is made out of a high-grade aluminum. The barrel is made out of a steel alloy, and the grip is some type of polymer. So it obviously has the ambidextrous manual safety. It also has a trigger safety, and then a striker block. And this back here looks like it should be like a striker window almost, where you could see if it's cocked or charged, but that's just plastic and that's solid in there. They might have used this off of another gun or something. I'm not really sure why that's like that, but the full size is that same way as well. It's got a white dot front sight, and then these are like serrated drift adjustable rear sights. It's got like the little U notch, U channel there. And then there is the optic plate. I actually did not see an Allen key to remove that, or is that it's an Allen key, I believe. So you'll need your own, it looks like, for that. So these cuts along the slide is very important. This is a blowback pistol. The barrel basically stays like fixed. It doesn't like tilt and stuff like that. And with 22s especially, and the blowback design, the weight is super important, especially if you remove this little plate and you put an optic on here. Even if an optic only weighs like 2 ounces, that 2 ounce makes such a huge difference on the overall weight of the slide. So they made these cuts here so that this performs reliably, especially if you're using lower speed ammo. And it does have a little Picatinny rail up here. I'm not exactly sure what that distance is from the rail. It looks like it's an inch something, probably an inch and a quarter. So if your flashlight or laser from the rail spot back there, you got probably just over an inch and something. All right, let's get this little chamber flag out of here. Again, it's obviously empty. It's brand new. Nothing in there. Nothing in the magazine. We'll see what the trigger's like and see if it'll fire first of all with the magazine out. Yes, it will. See what the reset's like. It's actually very short, very crisp. I mean, just the smallest little out. Yeah, that's very nice. So while we have it here at this point, I will show you where that threaded barrel adapter goes. You see how there's a line right there? So basically this here will unscrew. Sometimes they're pretty tight right from the factory. I don't know if I can do this by hand or not. If I can't, then you basically just get like a crescent wrench, put on here, this will come out, and then this here will thread on into its place, and then you'll have these bare threads that will stick out in its place, and then you would obviously put your suppressor on that right there, and those are 1/2 by 28. So I would highly recommend anybody who gets a new gun to go over your manual. I'm just going to quickly show you a couple pictures here. Just most of the stuff I've went over already, but there's some of the specs. And I did look real quick at the disassembly process on this because it is just a little bit different. And I want to make sure I was going to do it right before I started here. So it looks like you need to cock or charge your pistol and then pull this back a little bit, pull down on this disassembly latch like this here. You see how that stayed down now? You will squeeze the trigger and then you push this forward a little bit and then it should pop off. And I will continue with the disassembly. I always like to clean a pistol before I ever even take it to the range for the first time. So we'll take the recoil spring and guide rod. That does look to be plastic with some type of metal spring around it. And then this is our barrel here. So you just kind of push that up and that'll slide out. And for most of your cleaning, that's all you will ever need to do. And just so that YouTube knows, I'm not modifying this gun in any way whatsoever. I'm simply taking the parts and putting them back together. And your guide rod and recoil spring, there's only one spot that this can go. You see it right there. Sometimes the barrel will have like 2 little lugs almost, but this can only go right back there in that front one. So just get it there, push it out there, and make sure that it's kind of centered. And there we go. And to put the slide back on, it's a little bit trickier than some guns. Most guns, you just kind of line up like the rear channels and you just kind of like slide it on. So there's like these grooves right here. And this kind of has to line up with these. And you kind of get it to a certain spot. Okay, right there it is. And if you look, when I push down, see how that's moving now? So I should be able from here, just grab this, pull it back, and now it's back together. And then that goes back up on its own, that little locking tab thing there. So back together, we'll make sure it functions. Yep, everything's fine with it. So for those of you wondering The compact isn't like significantly smaller than the full size. So obviously I got the full size underneath of it there. It is a little bit shorter there and a little bit shorter there. I have the trigger guard areas lined up with them. But not like significant. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, like 3/4 of an inch or something like that. And maybe a half to 3/4 of an inch there. But so it's not like it's super small. And just so you know, this is like Glock 19 size, like 4-inch barrel. So yeah, I just want to do a quick introduction of this new pistol to you guys. I've actually bought, like, my last 4 pistols I've bought have all been Taurus. I had the G2C, I still have the G3C, I've got the TX22, and then now this, and all of them have been very reliable and pretty well made. And I think Taurus has really stepped up their game. You guys will be seeing quite a bit of this in range videos. I'm planning on putting the little Go-Watar. I think this is what, the A17 maybe? Yeah, A17. I'm planning on putting that on here, getting it sighted in, and get to the range here in the next few days. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.